Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Sitting here working on some of the final sub-assemblies of our 55 Ford group build for USAC, and getting some last minute painting and touch-up here and there done for it. And while some things are drying, I started to try to catch up on some YouTube that I am way behind on, and discovered there's a number of things that are being discussed in the community, and I thought I'd just throw my 2 cents worth in there too. So stick around, let's talk. First up, let's talk about 2023. Sometime last week I got my analytics report. YouTube is gracious enough to send us analytics on how our channel's doing, you know, what performs best, that kind of stuff, along with some other stats that are designed to help the YouTuber. And as I was looking at how the channel did over the entire year, it started me thinking about some things and reprioritizing some stuff for this year. I don't know how that's going to work, to be honest with you, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. But the analytics showed which videos performed the best and what people seem to like the most. And so I'm going to start kind of refocusing a few things there, but there's a few things that I'm just hard-headed and I'm going to do what I want. But and I want to have fun doing them. 2023 had some disappointments where the channel's concerned. I had specific cars that I wanted to get done in 2023. There were a couple of group builds, and I'm going to talk about group builds a little bit later, but that I really wanted to get done that just did not get done. And one of them, of all things, was a stock car build. Can you believe I didn't make that one? But I learned, you know, there are things in life that are just the distractions of life. Things come up, things happen, and other priorities over our hobbies jump in sometimes, and that's okay. That's just life. But there are, like I said, there was a number of things that I really wanted to get done last year. I did not, and I'm disappointed myself in that. But this is just my, I think February, sometime in February, or is it March? Sometime in there will be my 3-year anniversary, and you'd think I'd have learned something in 3 years. But apparently there's a few things I'm, again, being hard-headed about. Time management being one of them. I'm usually very particular about my time. But again, the distractions of life can step in there too. Not making excuses, just fact. But we own a farm. We have another home. And Matthew Inman was talking about he has an old house, and so do we. And, you know, it takes work, a lot of work. In the summertime, when I go to cut the grass, it's a half a day to sometimes 3/4 of a day job. Then there's wood to cut. There's a lot of things to do around a farm. And so that cuts into my time. And I think when I set what I wanted to get done last year, I made it realistic, I thought. And a lot of it was that there were other little things that were priorities. And try not to ramble, guys. But with 2 houses, 2 yards, yeah, with all this stuff, it can be very time consuming, especially in the summertime. Let's talk about group builds for a minute. I absolutely love group builds. Some of them take me out of my usual genre of race cars, NASCAR in particular, but you know what, that's okay though, because I love hot rods, I love street rods, you name it. If it's got 4 wheels, well, 2 wheels and 4 wheels, I love them. I'm a gearhead, as I think we all are. But group builds, they do take you out of your norm, and it's a challenge, and that's the fun part of it for me. There's a plus and a minus to the number of content creators out there, and I don't mean any of that in a negative way, but the plus is the more content creators we have, I'm loving it, and I'm still discovering some of you guys every day. And it's exciting because I go back and I'll watch a number of your videos, and I pick up little things and ideas and kits that I go, man, I got to do one of those. Like I have time to do what I have on my plate, or on my build sheet anyway. But many of the guys start their own group builds. Now that's something I have not done, is start a group build. I've been a part of that founding of the USAC build with Luca, and I'm very, very honored to have been included in that founding, that very first one. But realistically, group builds, there were two I jumped in on last year that I said I was going to do that realistically did not get done. One of them I never even got started, and that's on me. I overextended myself and I just couldn't do it. But I love them. Realistically though, there's so many content creators and so many group builds coming up now. I need to jump back on my build list and maybe take a hiatus away from some of them. Now there's a few of them that I've already committed to. Of course, the USAC build is always going to be one of them. The small scale group build I've committed to, and that's there might be one more in there that is escaping my mind right now that I really usually do. But I'm going to have to kind of back off of those and get back on to tutorials for specific types of things, like the radiators. That's my best. I think that's the best, pushing 20,000 views, my how to make realistic radiators video. So I'm going to share with you in a few minutes a few more of those like that I want to start doing. And I may go back and revisit an update on that realistic radiators. But BG and Matt made the comment too that in recent videos, it's hard to say no when someone asks stuff. And guys, that is absolutely, positively true. It is very difficult to say no. People ask stuff and they seek, and don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not saying I don't want to hear from you, because I cherish these friendships. I cherish you wanting it, and I want to help. When I can, I really, truly, truly want to help. That's why I do this channel, is sharing and having some fun. And again, it's a hobby. It's supposed to be fun, fun, fun. If you don't do it for anyone else but yourself, as long as you're having fun, knock it out. But I guess I'm going to have to start learning how to say no sometimes to certain things. And the group builds, as much as I hate to, might be one of them, or I'm going to curb it a little bit more and try to be more realistic about it. But there's such great ideas on group builds out there. And the great thing with a group build, when it's not in your genre, you learn stuff that you can use in the area that you build. And since I've been doing this, I have learned so much from you guys, the other content creators. And again, the more content creators we have out there, the bigger that algorithm is, and the more views we're going to see, the more people that may be getting back into the hobby, or we may be introducing them to the hobby. So we always want to do that too. Tutorials, that's one of the things I want to jump into. I want to do like the realistic radiators. I spent a ton of time talking to and research different guys from the era, and researching like the Mopar electronic systems from the 60s and 70s. And if you remember, I scratch built that totally from brass and plastic out of for the 200 mile an hour Dodge Daytona. Now, realistically, there's so many guys out there that are doing resin cast and the 3D printing that could probably do them as good or better than what I scratch built. But that's another thing about me. I absolutely love scratch building. So I'm probably going to stay old school on some of this stuff for a while and show you how to scratch build Mopar electronics. And I've also got a Holman and Moody manual on Ford electronics, how they had them mounted in what would be the glove box. And I'll have you pictures of those as well as what I scratch built and how to do that as well. Because scratch building for me is fun. The other thing is drum brakes. I was told several times when I was blessed to win Best of Show at Toledo in 2004, everybody said the drum brakes is what did it. All the springs and the brakes and all that stuff, what did it was that. I don't know, but I know I had fun building them from scratch. And I've seen resin since then that look pretty darn good too. But when you got individual pieces, all of that stuff, I'd like to do a tutorial on these drum brakes as well. Maybe even detailing engines, stock car engines, that kind of stuff. Or just engines in general. The other thing I like to do is to detail carburetors. I've got one stock car carburetor that when I went back and counted all the individual pieces that I had manufactured and had on the thing, fuel lines, fittings, everything about it, there was 21 pieces on a carburetor. I couldn't believe it myself, but man, I loved every minute of it, making all that stuff. So I may even do one on carbs, but I'm definitely going to do one on the Mopar and probably the Ford electronic systems. May do those into one video, may do them in a couple, as well as individually making the pieces for the drum brakes. But I have fun sharing this stuff. I have fun making it, but I have fun sharing it too. Trying to think if there's anything else without rambling too much, guys. But this stuff is just fun stuff. One of the cars I do want to get done this year is this car, the number 11, and y'all have heard me say this so many times you're probably sick of hearing it, but this was the very first Petty car. Being a Petty fan, when my dad took me to Petty Enterprises when I was, I think it was right at 15, when I walked in, this was the very first Petty car when the door opened that I saw. Before I saw the 43s, I saw this car, and it holds a special place in my heart. And before Salvino's came out with this version, I had already started one and modified the body, modified the chassis, all that stuff. I may go back and do that, and I may use the chassis from the Salvinos, but I've done so much modifications to the body. I'm probably going to use the front rear bumpers off the Salvino. I don't know yet. We'll play with that together, and I'll share that with you. But it's just great stuff. I don't want to overextend myself and go, okay, I'm going to build this, like I did last year and failed miserably. So I don't want to do that, but I think I'm going to take this one step at a time. After the 55 Ford USAC build is done, which will be its debut is the 14th, which is, I'm pretty sure that's Sunday. I want to get back on the 32nd scale. I have been working on the 32nd scale Lumina, little bitty things here and there. As I mentioned, I had to remanufacture the windshield, and I've gone back and I think I'm going to do better if I make the side windows as well as, I'm not sure about the back window yet because it's a decent fit, but I'll share that stuff with you. But I have played with that a little bit. And I've gone back and redone some of the firewall area, and I'm adding a few things that honestly I just didn't think about at the time, but some bottles and things like that. And I'm redoing the master cylinders, so I'll share all that stuff with you too after this build. I'm going to get right back on that. That is a priority to get that 32nd scale Lumina done, and when it's done, I want to try to stay focused on race cars this year. There are a couple of street rod, well, I'm not sure if you'd call them street rod, let's just say hot rods, that are already partially started. So, and I'll be sharing those with you too. And I do have one drag car I want to try to get completed this year too, but I want to try to get back to the basics of stock cars. So we'll be working on that, and we'll see how it goes. But I think that's it. Hope I hadn't rambled or bored you too much, guys. If you need any supplies, check out the inventory at HobbyNut Models. Mark's got an absolutely fantastic inventory. And it doesn't matter if you build cars, tanks, trains, planes. It doesn't matter. Military, he's got it all. You've seen some of the stuff that I've built, military aircraft, and I like the World War II stuff, but I do have... I have another tank on my list to do, and that's Israeli Merkava. And I don't know when I'll get to that, but I'm a car guy. But I do kind of want to build one of those. But head over to HobbyNut, check out the inventory. If you need any tools, that's the man. Check it out. Check it out. All right, guys. Love you. God bless. And thank you very much for all that you do to support this channel and all of our content creators. We all, and I'll speak for the rest of them too, we appreciate you. We love you. And just hope we're helping. Thanks, guys. God bless again. See you in the next video. Thanks.